Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me today on this edition of Make It with Mod Podge. My name's Cathie Fillion, and today I'm going to share with you some ideas for creating some summer watermelon crafts. We're going to do a combination of painting with Mod Podge and some napkin decoupage using these cute watermelon napkins. Now I picked these up at the dollar store, but I've seen all sorts of fruit inspired napkins and prints out in the different stores. So we're going to be using Mod Podge gloss today. That's the very first formula, the most basic, perfect beginner formula to work with. And we're going to use a selection of folk art paints in my watermelon colors, and we're going to use some multi-surface paint in white. And we're going to create 3 different projects today. We're going to create our painted watermelon wall or door sign. We're going to create a really cute succulent or planter that can hang on the wall, and a really cool bottle lamp that you can turn on at night, and it will have some fairy lights inside of it. So let's dive right into our painting technique and get started with that first. So one of the things I like to do with Mod Podge is mix it with my paints when I want to create kind of more like a wash. So for our watermelon design, and these wood blanks like this are at all the craft stores, and they're at the dollar store too, in many different shapes for summer. I'm using a little bit of the multi-surface in white that I've already pooled out, and I'm just going to add a little bit of my Mod Podge gloss right next to it. For this first layer going down, the white layer, I'm going to use a stencil brush, but I'm going to use lots of different brushes for this. I've got regular flat brushes, I've got some foam spouncers. You can use stencil brushes. You can use a cut up sponge at home for all of these techniques too, so don't feel like you need to run out and get a whole bunch of brushes. Use what you have at home. All right, let's add a little bit of our Mod Podge to our stencil brush and a little bit of our white paint. And I'm just gonna blend those together and then tap off. And I'm creating, let's see, you know what, let's pull our napkin over. I want to kind of mimic this design because I want these 3 things to go together. So it's really cute, kind of fun porch look. So let's go ahead and get our white layer down. Again, this is the paint mixed with the Mod Podge. And what I really like about it is you can see that it's a little bit sheer. I want some of that wood popping through. So we'll mix all that in and just kind of stencil that down. And you don't have to be real neat because we want this kind of cool blended look. You can see how fast I'm going. We're going to do the painting part in this video first. I am going to be decoupaging our seeds down. We're going to be adding a little bit of glitter to this design, but I want to get this paint down so it will dry first. Go ahead and get our bristle out of there. A loose bristle. Okay, we have our white down. Now I'm going to go and work on our bottom portion. So the same way I blended paint there, you can blend paint and Mod Podge in a little recycled cup like this. I've gone ahead and prepped out a few of my colors, and I will show you how we do that with this light pink. So we'll just go in, we're going to add a little bit of Mod Podge just to a container. You can use a paint palette. You can honestly mix this just on a piece of wax paper if you wanted to. And we'll add a little bit of our light pink paint. Come on, paint. Let's tap off. Looks like I'm at the end of the road for my pink. Time to get new pink, huh? Go ahead, squeeze that out. There we go. Now to blend that up, let's just use the bottom of a paintbrush and stir that together with the Mod Podge. And I kind of want that Mod Podge to have those clear spots coming through. Just kind of thins out the paint so it's more like a wash. Okay, got that mixed up. And then I usually just wipe off the end of my paintbrush. Look, you can see how messy I am. I do wash my brushes, but my handles tend to get caked up with paint. Okay, so the first color I want to put down next is our lime green. I'm going to just use a spouncer on that. So I dip in and kind of tap off because we can always add more paint. It's hard to take away. So we're going to go in and start adding some of our green right over the white, blending those together. sort of blending it because I don't want to get too much of a circle edge there. So kind of blending, keeping some of that white coming through. And you can really, when you're choosing your colors, you can look to nature for inspiration, look to your watermelon pieces, or you can use something like a napkin or a piece of fabric or a piece of art. Even a teacup can give you color inspiration. Now let's just kind of roll it on there. Just like so. Tap it down. Kind of get some of that white showing through. And then we'll go all the way to the edge. Sorry guys, let me move that paper back. And we're gonna put in some green at the some darker green at the bottom there. And see how with the Mod Podge you get some of that wood grain showing through. Really cute look for summer. So this is thinned out paint with the Mod Podge gloss. Okay, we've got our bright green down. Now let's add a little bit of our darker green to the edge. And this is one that I've already pre-mixed up. Tap some of that off. And now we're just gonna go around that outer edge. You can layer up more paint. It's best to start with a small layer. Let me move that out of your way so you can see better. And then add more. Hard to take away. Now, once I'm not on camera, I will clean up all those edges because I can't even see what I'm doing on that edge right now. And by tapping like this, you're really getting a blend together. And then again, you can kind of go in and just tap, tap, tap and blend those colors together. And this is the paint mixed with the Mod Podge. That's creating that more translucent look than if we were just using straight paint. So again, I'll go ahead and clean up that bottom edge and the top edge once we're totally done. Okay, let's move on to our pinks. So I've got a red here mixed together, and I'm gonna go ahead and add that to our top. And you can see all those great watermelon colors starting to form. And we'll just kind of make up a shape. This one cleverly came stamped with seed placement, so we can use that for our seeds. Go ahead and fill in. And once this dries, you're gonna get those highs and lows, which is really nice. That's where the clear Mod Podge will kind of have a little bit more sheer look. And then where the red paint is, it'll be a little bit deeper, like a real watermelon. Really simple, really fast painting technique. But I know you're at the craft store and you see all these wood surfaces. So I really wanted to come up with a really easy beginner tutorial to show you how you could use Mod Podge with your painting. All right, now let's add some pinks. I'm gonna tap off on this brush. There we go. And we'll go in and add a little bit of this melon color right along that edge. The texture that the Mod Podge is giving it really makes it look like a piece of watermelon. You could do the same technique with oranges to create an orange or lemon. At the craft store, they have all sorts of, I call these blanks, so wood surfaces that are cut into fun summer shapes, ready for your crafting. All right, now I want to just take a brush like this, and I'm going to kind of feather those together. Just kind of blend, 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 blend. Feather that edge. Very simple. I see a few spots here where we need some of our darker red. Just go in and blend that. And you can see how that sheer with that Mod Podge. Still get a little bit of that wood grain coming through, almost like an old fruit crate. Okay, now let's add our pink, our last color. Well, you know what? I want to add a little bit of, sorry, this hot pink. Oops. Let me give that a shake real quick. Okay, and let's blend that together. Look at the mess I'm making. I love it. I love making messes. Get a little bit of that white in there. Okay. Whoops, got too much white, guys. Let's tap some of that off. Cool thing about these blended colors is that even if you get, you know, a little bit over the edge, whatever, it doesn't matter. You just keep going in and blending and blending. Okay, now let's go back in, give it a little bit of a blend. I still want to keep that feathered edge though, so I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. Just blend. There we go, and let's add our last little bit, some of this baby pink, and I'm going to go back and use our stencil brush, tap off, and that's really going to add some texture to that edge where the watermelon meets the rind. This is a great project if you want to make some front door decor. This is great for adults and even kids. Super easy technique. Let's go in and add just a, whoops. Go ahead. Got a little bit too much white on there. Tap off. A little bit more of our green. You can just keep layering it up. I think we are almost good. Just work our way around. Now we're going to set this aside and let it dry while I move on to our napkin decoupage. But let's hold it up and take a look. So this is how quickly you can paint one of these. And let's let this dry, and then I'm going to come back to it and show you how we decoupage on our seeds and how we add a little bit of glitter to this design. So for our decoupage, I've got a really cool tin canister like this that has a handle. I thought this would be so cute to create like a succulent planter. You could put faux flowers in it. You could put real plants in it. I went ahead and painted the front of it with just some folk art home decor chalk. Everybody who has seen my videos knows that this is my #1 favorite paint for priming a project. So let's go ahead and show you how you do that. I went ahead and pre-painted it so it's ready to go. And we're going to use one of our watermelon themed napkins. So I've got the napkin here, and we're only going to use the top printed ply. So this one comes apart quite easily, but you want to get rid of any of the parts of the napkin that are just white. So if it doesn't have the printing on it, this is going to go away. You're not going to use it. Use that as a scrap material. And look how cute this napkin is, circular shape. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of see where we want to position this onto our planter. Something like that. Let's pull it up and put a little bit like that. Now you can see here, because it's round, we're not going to be able to cover that, but don't worry about that, because I'm going to show you how you can use these same paints to blend your napkin into your surfaces. I do this on jars and different projects all the time. If you want to cut out a motif from your napkin, you can use paint just to blend those together. So let's go ahead and trim up our napkin. We know we want to see some of that green on the bottom, so you can just grab scissors and trim across. And of course, these little scrap pieces, I collect these in a baggie. You can use those for another project a different day. And we're gonna go ahead and apply our napkin with the Mod Podge gloss. Grab a clean brush. And for that, we're gonna go ahead and just apply our Mod Podge gloss directly onto the planter. You wanna get all the edges. Just like so. And you don't need too much. You don't want it to be like sloppy, dripping off kind of. So you can put it on and then really smooth it out. If you get too much, that's actually where you get more wrinkles. So just put it on and then, you know, distribute it all the way across and up and down. Okay, now we will go ahead and I hope you guys can see this good. We will start at the bottom and position our napkin down. And I'm going to gently, I'm not putting very much pressure at all on there. We're going to just tap down and smooth out. I don't mind having a few wrinkles. I think that's what makes it look handmade. Some people really don't like wrinkles. So you can also use a piece of cling wrap and put it on top of here. Many times I mist my napkin with just a little bit of water before I put it down, and that can help with wrinkles too. But for this watermelon, I kind of wanted a little bit more texture because I think that looks more like a real watermelon. If I'm doing something that's more intricate design, like an angel or something like that, I usually mist my napkin first. Okay, and I'm not putting much pressure. It looks like I'm putting pressure down, but I am not. I'm barely touching. Okay, so we got the first part of our napkin down. Now for the back side, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of Mod Podge on the back. This is gonna be hanging against the wall so no one's gonna see it. But if you were to be selling this at a boutique or a bazaar or something, you could wrap this over. You could paint over that with the chalk paint. You could put your company logo back there, all different kinds of things you can do. Let's go ahead and trim to the corner. I'll trim to the corner there. And then we'll just wrap that around. And basically just let our brush do the work. And wrap that around. Just like so. And then for this top section here, we're gonna go ahead and put a little Mod Podge on that inside rim. And then we will turn this to the inside. And you can just tuck all those in. Add a little bit more Mod Podge there in a second. Just like so. Let me add a little bit more, guys. I'm just gonna show you, I hope you can see in there good. You just kind of go in and add a little bit more. It's gonna dry perfectly clear. It looks milky right now. This piece I wanna take to the back. You just gotta work around it. You let your brush do all the work for you, just like so. Now at this point, I'm gonna let this dry and then I will go in and put a top coat to seal the napkin down, but I like to wait about 15 minutes. So while we're waiting for that, I do wanna show you how you can go in and just blend this edge. So let's use that green sponge that I was using before, and we'll add a little bit of green to it. And then let's tap off and just come in, paint right up to that edge. You can even go over the napkin a little bit like that, and that will all blend away. And I'm just going right over the Mod Podge. You can wait for it to dry, but all of this, I sort of want that kind of sheer look. And that's how you easily blend your napkin with paint. Now you could go a little darker color if you want. I do have a darker green, so I might even end up going over that with another layer of green. but it's so simple and there's so many cute napkins out there. So if this isn't your style for watermelon in summer and you want to do something like this for Halloween or the holidays or back to school, just find those kind of napkins and look how cute and quickly you can create a fun planter. All right, I got one more idea to share with you before we move on to getting our seeds down. Let's see if I can get that to stand up. I've got a bottle like this now, and I have cork lights, so this is going to turn into a really cool outdoor lamp. You can use it for indoors too, but I love these at nighttime in the summer, really sparkling and like fairy lights almost. So same kind of thing. I've got a napkin here. Let's go ahead and get okay, it's already down to 1 ply. And this one, I'm gonna put the green part across the top. So let's go ahead and trim up our napkin. There's our bottom. Trim across. And for this one, I'm gonna do one side, but today on camera, but once it's dry, I would probably go in and piece together the back side of it so that it looks good from both sides. So for this one, I went ahead and I painted it. I painted it with a mixture of the Mod Podge and white paint. And I didn't want to do a solid white paint look on it because I want it to still have enough translucence that the fairy lights will shine through. So you don't want to do necessarily a solid paint look. So mixing the Mod Podge with the paint for that is really good. So let's go ahead and add our Mod Podge directly down to the bottle. And you can do this on a vase, you can do this on recycled bottles, you can buy really cool shapes at the craft store. You know, it's endless. Whatever shape you see that you like, you can go ahead and just use that. Okay, we got that down. And now we're gonna just place our, let's see, what's the best way so you all can see? Let's go ahead and do it like this. Place that down. And again, just gently, 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 gently pressing down. Now for the watermelon design, I'm liking the texture. If you don't like the texture, you could hold a piece of saran or cling wrap over there, and you could also lightly mist your napkin before you put it down. It really depends upon the look that you're going for, but I am loving this texture. Okay, so we got the front of it down, and now we can just, I'm gonna do the bottom of it in a second. Go ahead and wrap to the back side. So we'll go down that seam, getting close to that edge. Wrap that around. And then once this is dry, I'll go in and add the red part to there. Go ahead and smooth that like that. Look how cute. Now you could also do the same painting technique that I was showing a second ago, but there's something about these napkins that I love because you can create these really cool coordinated looks. So if you're doing holiday stuff or you're having an outdoor summer party, it's really a cute way to quickly pull together a coordinated look. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap that around. And then we'll let that just kind of put the Mod Podge on the back. Again, I would wait for the front part. I would wait about 15 minutes for that to cure. And then here, if you want, you can go in and do that same kind of painting. Just sponge it. I'm probably going to add a ribbon up there, but that is a cool way that you can blend that together. Just go ahead and paint that top just like so. Okay, so there you go. That's how quickly you can add a napkin to your bottle lamp. Now, I'm gonna throw you up a picture and show you what it looks like when it's all glowing and so pretty. So let's just set this aside and let it dry. I wanna check on our watermelon, our other watermelon. We got so many watermelon projects going on. Let's check on our watermelon here. And that's feeling pretty dry. So for this, what I want to show you is we want to add a little bit of sparkle to this. So I'm going to just add a tiny bit of Mod Podge to a container, and I'm going to add a little bit of clear glitter, or I should say white glitter, snow kind of glitter. This is Aurora Borealis, so it's going to pick up whatever color is around it. And let's use the bottom of a paintbrush just to kind of mix some of that together. You can't really see the glitter in there, but when it dries, it's going to dry sparkly and so pretty. And we're just going to add, with our bouncer brush, a tiny bit of that mixture just along our little hot pink border there. So it looks white right now, but that's going to dry clear and with a little bit of sparkle. Really cute way just to add some glitter to your project. And again, this is perfect for your holiday crafts too. If you want to add a little sparkle to some snow or something, this is a great way to do it. Just add a little glitter to there. So where it's white, it's going to dry clear. That's just the color of the Mod Podge. Just like so. And that's going to create a really soft, pretty sparkle there. Now for our seeds, I'm going to go ahead and put a few of them down. Sorry guys, because I want you to see what that looks like. But I would normally wait for this portion to all be completely dry before I did something like this. But for the sake of the video, I want to scoot ahead and show you. So I've gone ahead and just cut out, just from black construction paper, just inexpensive kid construction paper, just some seed shapes. And really, it's so simple. I'm just going to take a dot of our Mod Podge, go ahead and put it down, and then let's lay one of our seed shapes down, and then we'll top coat over that. And it's going to dry perfectly clear. And let's just add another, let's get a smaller one for up here. Go ahead and put that into position, and then go right over it. You can add one more here. And normally I would wait for all of that to be dry, but we'll go ahead and get these down. And then once the whole thing has its seeds and once it's completely dry, what I like to do is go in and top coat the whole thing with a coat of the clear gloss Mod Podge. And to do that, you will literally just go right over the top like this. And it looks like I'm turning my project white or pink, but I'm not. That's going to dry clear, but it's going to give your project a nice, beautiful, glossy shine. So let's take a look at all of the projects that we made today, from our adorable watermelon sign to our super cute bottle lamp and our awesome hanger. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I hope that these watermelon projects are going to make it onto your porch for some summer fun. These are simple to do, really fun, easy painting techniques. I can't wait to see what you make. So make sure you use the hashtags PlaidCrafts and Mod Podge so we can share your content. I'll be back here next Thursday on Facebook and Saturday on YouTube. I'm always answering your questions live, so please let me know if you're wondering about any of our Mod Podge formulas or folk art paints. Have a great crafty week and have a really fun summer.